So the key to making meditation work, the key to making yoga nidra work, it's all about awareness. But that can be a kind of vague term, right? So in this little video, I want to share with you exactly what we mean by that. Awareness of what? Awareness of who? Awareness of where? The term in Sanskrit is Sakshi Bhava. Bhav or Bhao means an attitude or a certain perspective, a certain orientation. And Sakshi literally means the witness. So Sakshi Bhav is the attitude of a witness. Yeah, very India. Namaste. Om Namah Shivaya.
Namaste.
Namaste. People here are so lovely, huh? They're not shy at all. So, what is Sakshi Bhav? Sakshi Bhav is the attitude of a higher, detached, third party, totally neutral witness, where you can look at what you're thinking as if it's not you, as if it's outside of you, as if they're all just objects of your awareness, right? You are on the subjective side of all experience, which is formless, which is silent, which is of the nature of bliss, which is the source of all contentment. And the reason then self-realization is a little bit tricky is because although it's just who you are, it's your highest truth, but yet it's tricky because on that subjective side of experience, there's only that pure awareness and consciousness, which is formless and silent. Whereas everything else is on the objective side, whether if it's a thought, or if it's an emotion, or if it's a gross sensorial experience coming from the five senses. Everything, literally everything else in our experiences is an object. Only you are that subject, that subjective self on the level of pure awareness. So in order to make meditation work and for it to be most fruitful, in order for yoga nidra and for antarmona to be therapeutic, so you can look at whatever you might be repressing, and you can look at whatever turmoils and sources of tension you have within yourself, to face it without it just overwhelming you more and causing more stress. Sakshi Bhav is the attitude we have to take up. So we have to be willing to look at whatever there is arising on that objective side of our experience, thoughts, emotions, senses, as if it's not you. As if all of these are just objects of your awareness. Just objects. And you are not an object. You are the formless, silent self. So for example, let's give a practical understanding of how this higher awareness of Sakshi Bhav, of the attitude of a witness, how this works. When you feel a disturbing emotion, the first thing that happens is you recognize what you're experiencing. So you step out of it. Instead of indulging in thoughts and emotions from the first person perspective, from that first person narrative of the ego, you just become aware of what you're thinking, becoming aware of what you're feeling, as if it's all happening outside of you. And remember, the rule is this: anything that is an object of your awareness is not you. Anything that is subject to change and impermanent is not you. Because you've been you all your life, right? All your life there's been this seamless inner experience of I-ness, which is on that subjective side of all experience. But it's not a form, it's not a shape. Your body has changed your entire life. So you can't be your body. If you look at pictures of yourself every 7 years or so, you'll see it's as if you have a completely different body. On a cellular level, every cell is changing completely changes within 5 to 7, at the very most 12 years. So you are not your body. Next, coming inwards, is on the level of the mind. Because you can become aware of your thoughts, that means you are not your thoughts. They are an object and they are subject to change, so it's not the real you. And that's actually the bigger challenge. It's like gravity, the tendency to identify with our thoughts. We really believe that we are our thoughts. So this takes a lot more work. We can understand that we are not the body and we are not the objects of the senses. That's a lot easier, even though that can be tricky sometimes as well. But our thoughts and our emotions, we really feel like this is me. However, Sakshi Bhava, when we practice this, becoming a witness to your thoughts, you see they are an object of your awareness, they're on the objective side of all experience, and they're subject to change. Therefore, it cannot be the everlasting true self, the real you. When we discover this, when we understand this, then you understand that you are not a thought. This is extremely liberating. When you realize you are not an object, this is very liberating, this is very freeing. Then you can look at whatever you're experiencing from outside yourself, not allowing it to overwhelm you, and higher understanding can mature. How do we define maturity? Maturity is defined as knowing that it's not you, that you are not at the center of all experience. Immaturity is thinking that you're the center of the universe and everything revolves around you, right? However, when we mature, we realize that nothing revolves around us, in fact. If we can take ourselves out of the equation, just extract yourself out from the equation, then we can develop this detached, higher understanding, this matured understanding. We can realize that a lot of our thoughts, not only are they not you, but they're not really yours. They're coming from external influences. We run scripts that we've learned from various influences in our society, in our social circles, from our family, teachers, friends, media, different political leaders, all these kinds of things. So we're running scripts that are coming from outside of us. And then we can go a step deeper and understand that actually, just as you are not a thought, you are not an object of your perception, you are on the subjective side of all experience. However, all the objects cannot exist separately from you. You are not an object, but can the objects exist separately from you? And this is where we come to the level of non-duality and the non-dual realization. Before, what we've been talking about up until now has been the dualistic realization, the dualistic understanding that you are not a thing, you are not an object, you are that subject. The non-dual realization says, yeah, that's true, but can the objects be known or said to exist separately from you? Can anything be experienced separately from consciousness? If you cannot separate two things, are they really different? So just like gold is not the ornaments, can the ornaments exist separately from the gold? Can the ornaments exist separately from the gold? No. So too, your perceptions, your thoughts, your emotions, these are not separate from you any more than the ornaments are separate from gold. So you are creating your illusions of reality. We all are. We're all creating our illusions of reality, but most of us are doing that unconsciously. When we can know the limitations of the mind, when we can know the limitations of our perceptions, that we are creating our own illusions, then it doesn't dominate you. It doesn't limit you. You can know it's just your own creation. Like an artist is not separate from their art, but yet they are not their art, are they? Hello, brother. That's right. They are not their art. But yet their art is, you cannot say that the art is separate from them or that it's not them. So what this means is that you are the master of your reality. The way that you experience reality is very much limited to your perspectives. And your perspectives are stemming from your attitudes, your beliefs. And at the very core of that is identity. Even more important than beliefs. A lot of the self-help gurus like to talk about how important belief is, and they're right. Belief is incredibly important. But there is something even more deeper and on a more causal level than even belief, and that is identity. And the entire Vedic knowledge, and even Buddhist knowledge, is stating that you suffer because you don't know who you really are. In the middle of a soccer game here. I'm in the waves. That's fine. So, not knowing who we are, we project selfhood onto the objects of our awareness. We don't realize that you are the cause of your experience. Your perspective and your perceptions is determining the way you experience reality. And that is everything, isn't it? That's your entire life, is your experiences. So you are the master of your own reality. Sakshi Bhava. Being a witness, knowing that you are the formless, silent self, not subject to change, pure awareness, and then nothing can really touch you on that level of the formless, silent self within. Now, having that conviction, you can look at whatever arises from within you, and you can know not only it's not you, so it doesn't have to overwhelm you and be a source of tension, but it's your art. You're projecting yourself onto the world and experiencing yourself in all the various myriad forms around you. Everything is your own reflection. So have the courage to look at whatever's within you. Have the courage to face whatever you might be repressing, knowing that it's not the real you. And then you transcend that egocentric perspective. Transcending the egocentric perspective, you can allow for deep understanding to mature, so you can transcend it and become more fully self-integrated. Now you are free. Now you can offload some of those psychological, mental toxins and tensions within you to know more inner peace and to allow your awareness of self-born bliss to mature. So you can become established in that bliss all of the time. All the time. Yes, it's possible to know bliss and to become established in bliss and to become permanently rooted in bliss and joy all the time. We just have to expand our awareness. So, remain as a detached observer, as a silent witness. Don't take anything personally. And yet know that this is all your own creation. You're creating your illusions of reality, and your experience of your life is totally deterministic by your attitudes, your perspectives, and your identity. Identify with the formless, silent self within. And in this way, day by day, you transcend stress and suffering. You can take on a more positive approach to life, more positive attitude, which will allow you to notice more opportunities, to have more enriched experiences and interactions with others, and to realize your highest truth as universal consciousness, eternal, infinite, while still alive. You can realize the infinite while still in a finite form of this body and mind. Thank you for watching with great love and respect. I thank you with all my heart. Shri Matre Namaha.